अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Salutations are due to the teacher who led me to my home and who deserves to be regarded as the source of all that is movable and immovable and whose form is the entire universe. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mitra Bandhu Paudal. Welcome to the third special episode of the essence of the Bhagavad Gita in management. In this episode, I try to explore emotional intelligence in our great scripture, which is Bhagavad Gita. My message is be an emotionally intelligent. Before exploring EI in the Bhagavad Gita, let me give you a brief background of emotional intelligence. Edward L. Thorndike created the concept of social intelligence in 1920, and it later evolved into emotional intelligence. In the meantime, I would like to add that the concept of multiple intelligence, MI, was developed by Howard Gardner in the year 1983. Gardner 2020 claims that multiple intelligence MI is founded on empirical discoveries in a memoir titled Synthesizing Mind, a memoir from the creator of the multiple intelligence theory. MI is made up of 6 different types of intelligence. Number 1 is linguistic intelligence. Number 2, musical intelligence. Number 3, logical mathematical intelligence. Number 4, spatial intelligence. Number 5, bodily kinetic intelligence. And the 6th one is the personal intelligence. Since its debut 26 years ago, emotional intelligence, EI, has been the subject of much research and is constantly developing. According to Satterfield 2017, emotions are full whole body reactions that cause matching changes in the area of subjective experience, behavior, and peripheral physiology. According to Goldman and Boyatis 2017, emotional intelligences are divided into 4 domains. Number 1 is self-awareness. Number 2, self-management. Number 3, social awareness. And number 4, relationship management. The emotional intelligence EI framework developed by Goldman defines how people organize themselves via personal competence and manage relations through social competence. So that's the Goldman model of EI. The second one is Salovey and Myers model, which was developed in 1990. That understand meanings, grapple with the similarities and differences between 2 concepts, formulate powerful generalization, and understand when generalization may be inappropriate due to circumstances. The third one is Baron model. Baron model, the emotional quotient inventory, EQI, serves as the operationalization tool for the Baron model. And according to Baron 2006, this model outlined 5 skills. Number 1, intrapersonal traits that include self-esteem, emotional self-awareness, assertiveness, independence, and self-actualization. Number 2 is interpersonal trait that include empathy, social responsibility, and interpersonal relationship. And the third one is the stress management Uh, that trait include stress tolerance and impulse control. And the fourth one is adaptabilities that include reality testing, flexibility, problem solving, and the fifth one is general mood or optimization happiness. Goldman and Boyatis 2017 confirmed that emotional intelligence has 12 components which fall into four categories: self awareness, self management, social awareness, and relationship management. And these studies span over 30 years in the field of emotional intelligence. So, in this background, what I would like to add here is that we can find the concept of emotional intelligence in Bhagavad Gita, which is the Eastern literature. Uh, in their article entitled Emotional Intelligence Through the Bhagavad Gita, Gayatri and Meenakshi 2012 compare and contrast the concept of EI with the concept of emotions as discussed in the Bhagavad Gita and investigate the possibility of identifying concrete strategies for improving one's emotional competencies by incorporating the ideals of Sri Krishna as discussed in the Bhagavad Gita. So additionally, Mulla and Krishnan 2006 discovered a strong correlation between karma yoga and emotional intelligence. And they revealed that people who practice karma yoga regularly are more likely to become aware of their interconnectedness with their beings, which helps them to develop a sense of empathy and become emotionally intelligent. The emotionally stable individual is referred to as a sthit pragya, the emotionally wise person in the Bhagavad Gita. Sri Krishna elaborates on the characteristics of the sthit pragya as Arjuna inquires about what a sthit pragya is. It is beautifully written in chapter 2, verse 54 in Gita. स्थित प्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्थस्य केशव स्थितधि किं प्रभासेत किमा सीत brajeta kim, meaning, O Kesava, how does a person who is in divine consciousness behave? How does a wise person communicate? How is he seated? How is his gait? In the next verse, the Supreme Lord stated that, O Partha, one is said to be transcendently situated when they let go of all self-centered impulses and craving that torture their minds and find fulfillment in self-realization. Bhagavan further defines this to Arjuna in chapter 2, verse 56. A person is referred to as a sage of steady wisdom or sthit pragya if their mind is unaffected by suffering, they don't want pleasure, and they are free from attachment, fear, and rage. This is the traits of an emotionally stable person. This, I believe, is very close to the subdomain of emotional self-control, which falls under the refined domain of self-management by Daniel Goleman and Richard Boyatis. In the next verse, 257, the concept of EI through relationship management has beautifully explained. And that particular verse means a person with perfect knowledge is one who is unattached at all time and who does not feel joy from fortune or sorrow from suffering. When I read Bhagavad Gita exploring EI, I remember Daniel Goleman and Richard Boyatis' article where they identified one of the EI domains and competencies, which is self-awareness. Self-aware person, according to chapter 2, verse 58 of Gita, is established in divine wisdom who has the ability to remove the senses from their objects in the same way that a tortoise withdraws its limbs into its shell. O great test of man Arjuna, the individual who is unaffected by joy and sorrow and who maintains stability in both qualifies for liberation. In an article entitled Karma Yoga Construct Validation Using Value System and Emotional Intelligence, written by Jubin R. Mulla and Venkat R. Krishnan, Mulla and Krishnan, 2006, revealed that moral values like responsibility and obedience were ranked much higher by high Karma Yoga practitioners than by low Karma Yoga practitioners. A second study involving 37 students discovered a strong correlation between Karma Yoga and emotional intelligence. Gayatri and Meenakshi, 2012, write an article on emotional intelligence through the Bhagavad Gita. They conclude that when the Bhagavad Gita and the theory of AI work in harmony, they will undoubtedly point the path for the contemporary man who is mired in a sea of conflict, perplexity, and moral quandaries. So, in my next episode, I will try to, fit the some of the verses of Bhagavad Gita in the competencies or the four domains of, Daniel Goleman. With this, I conclude this episode now. Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kaschid dukho va bhavet. Thank you very much.